Dana, I'm not sure why you and others in the media think that you want to keep trying to question whether or not that some people, no one was reporting about. No one was reporting about graffiti on the.
Mr. Secretary, you and I talked about this last month.
Yeah, and we're still talking about it.
Well, because
Clinton Jaws. Happy July 5th, everyone. Yesterday was a great day. Everything was spectacular. We had flyovers.
The 2026 Blue Angels.
And a firework display that broke records. An absolute ton to celebrate. And what does CNN do this morning? What do they talk about? What do they open up with?
Rushmore, I was with
white nationalism. It's as you said, a part of America's history that still has pockets. But the fact that they were here in Washington on such an important day.
An amazing day. And she opens up with racism. But that's not all. Yep. You guessed that she talks about the pool. And Republican Doug puts her in her place. Priceless. Watch.
I want to ask you about the reflecting pool because we spoke about a month ago.
Who cares about the pool?
The $16 million no-bid contract to renovate the reflecting pool was something you called fantastic, and you certainly defended the expediting contract in order to try to get it fixed in time for July 4th. Now, of course, chunks of paint are peeling off the floor. The algae has returned. What went wrong?
Well, the algae is all gone. I mean, that was a momentary thing as it was being refilled. There was algae in the pipes, but the new technology, the nanobubblers that have been installed, if you go down there today and look at it, it is completely clean and clear. And so for the first time, there's actual a solution that involves making sure that we've got an algae-free pond. It keeps being reported that this was paint. It was not paint. This was an industrial liner that was put into the pool for the very first time. Multiple layers, fixing 2.5 miles of expansion.
But it peeled off. Why? Why did that happen? Do you know?
It didn't peel off. There was vandalism. There was box cutters. There have been 7 arrests. There was
7 arrests.
Literally.
As a former cop, I'm going to tell you guys something. When you arrest somebody, it's because they did it.
Reflecting pool is not just a pool on the mall. It is part of the Lincoln Memorial. And if anybody says that they're going to go and vandalize that, it's no different than if someone was throwing paint.
And you're 100% sure that what happened with the liner was vandalism. You can prove it.
Oh yeah, absolutely can. And as we drain it, and we've got all the photographs we can see. I mean, there's no possible way.
There are photographs of a person or people cutting a 300 or 350 foot gash in the bottom of the reflecting pool?
Dana, I'm not sure why you and others in the media think that you want to keep trying to question whether or not this is an industrial liner. Every farmer and rancher in America that's had their pickup liner lined by this sprayed on liner knows that you literally, it would never just like peel off or fall off. This is like a strong material.
Yeah.
And it's the size of 8 football fields.
Okay.
And the only way you can end up with actual slices in one spot and not the other is that someone physically cut it. And so but the pool itself, it's not leaking. It was leaking 45,000 gallons a day. It's finally been fixed by President Trump. And the American flag blue is working perfectly. And again, it's beyond me why. I mean, the real scandal is about the fact that the state of our capital was in such total disrepair that some people, no one was reporting about. I was reporting about the pro-Hamas graffiti on the
Mr. Secretary, you and I talked about this last month.
Yeah, and we're still talking about it.
Well, because it was July 4th and the reflecting pool was closed.
It was closed because it's surrounded by fireworks. It's closed every year on the 4th of July.
But it was closed prior to that in order to fix the reflecting
No,
pool. But
it was closed because the largest fireworks display in the country we talked about was set up, and it lines either side of the reflecting pool. You can't have people around fireworks when they're being set up. Now that the fireworks will come down, the fence will come down. The fence was there because of the fireworks.
Copy that. I just want to ask you about one other potential issue here.
What's
in
that?
May, the president's armored motorcade of SUVs, which can weigh up to 20,000 pounds, drove across that new coating of the reflecting pool's floor.
That's
Could that
what
have
did it.
damaged it?
No, I was with him when we came that night. He didn't take the Beast. We were driving in a Cadillac Escalade. It is one of the presidential fleet of cars, but substantially lighter than what you're talking about. And at the time that we were there, they were still putting down the whole base level of this industrial rubber layer was not yet completed, and so there was no damage that night whatsoever. That was one of the questions we asked before we even brought the presidential motorcade there, but not a chance.
How much is it going to cost to fix? And are you going to use the same company that you did in the no bid contract, or will you open it up to new bids?
We'll use the same company because they did a fantastic job. I mean, even with this damage of the gash that we're talking about, you're talking about, again, this is the size of 8 football fields. It is 8 acres, and we're talking about like 0.001%. Thankfully, the vandalism was small. It was bad. I mean, it could cost tens of thousands of dollars to repair. So then it could fall into a felony thing, just like damaging any other government property could. But it is this is the job that was done to fix the reflecting pool was done extremely well. And hopefully we can move on to this and just talk about, how we can continue to do things like take care of this is a deferred maintenance problem. We have deferred maintenance problems across our parks. President Trump is ready to sign the Great American Outdoors Act, which would bring the dollars to help fix all of our parks, not just ones like the National Mall, which is free, but help bring that across the country.
Can I just ask you about the vandalism? There is an Olympian, David Hearn, who was indicted for vandalism. The maximum sentence is 10 years in prison. He says
it's 10 years in prison. B&E is life in prison, but nobody ever gets it. All he did was reach in and took a piece. Like she knows the case.
Is an Olympian, David Hearn, who was indicted for vandalism. The maximum sentence is 10 years in prison. He says he didn't do anything other than reach into the reflecting pool and pull out and look at a piece of the liner that had already been cut. Do you really think he should face a 10-year prison sentence for doing this? This is somebody who competed for America and did extremely well there and is saying he didn't do anything wrong.
You can be a former governor, you can be a former this, you can be a former that, but just because you were a former something doesn't exclude you from the law today.
Yeah, that's fair. But he says he didn't do anything to actually hurt it other than pick it up because it was already
That's what he said.
Peeling.
Well, he can say what he wants to say. I wasn't there. I was not an eyewitness. I mean, the courts will decide. But I think the law stands. That is a law that exists, and it should be, again, if people are, damaging federal government property, if people are defaming our monuments, they should face the consequences of that. So the courts will decide.
Secretary Burgum, happy 250. Thank you so much for everything, and appreciate you coming in.
What's there to be happy about?
Very little sleep.
I would love to come on sometime and actually talk about the great things going on in America, as opposed to this myopic focus on a single one. We restored 48 monuments, 22 fountains, eliminated 1,000 graffiti sites. The Capitol's looking better than ever, and I can't understand why people want to keep talking about beautiful reflecting pool.
I take your point, and I think the answer is because the president sets the tone and he talks about it nonstop because he was so proud of it, which is why we're following up on what you did to try to fix it.
And he should be proud of it because no one has fixed up our Capitol more than President Trump has during the time he's been here. He's shown the pride that he has in America. He's shown that as a country we can stand and think about our future. This is the kickoff of our 250th year.
It is the kickoff, isn't it? This guy does the Sunday morning tour. He's asked again about the pool.
How much more is this going to cost?
I think it's going to be a small number because the majority of the work was related to the labor and the materials for the liner, and of course the new nano bubbler system, which is taken care of and won the battle against the algae, which is something in a shallow pool in hot weather has been a historic challenge. But now that's working fantastically. If you're down there today, again, as the fireworks get cleaned up from the incredible show we had last night, spectacular event celebrating our 250th. As the fences come down, we clean that up. Anybody that's there and anybody that was there last week before the fireworks started being installed on either side of the reflecting pool could see.
Mr. Secretary, thanks for your time this morning.
That's it.
Thank you, George.
Up next, John Carl with a rare look from the top of Mount Rushmore.
Oh my God, sorry guys. They talk for 10 minutes about the pool. I gotta edit all that out. Thanks for watching. Who cares about the pool? Do you really care? I don't know why they care so much. Bye-bye.